The second test in Perth began with the selectors of both sides leaving out a spin bowler. Terry Jenner, who'd been quite successful for Australia in the Brisbane Test match, was left out. And so too, and quite surprisingly, I thought, was Derek Underwood for England. Because Ian Chappell won the toss. He put Dinesh into bat. And we join play now with Jeff Thompson, the Australian fast bowler, bowling to Brian Luckhurst.
Could be injured. Flexing his hand. Luckhurst facing Thompson. Well, Rod Marsh making a spectacular save. Good ball, and in front of Walker. Ian Chappell at first slip, Greg Chappell at second, Walters at third, Redpath at fourth, and Mallett in the gully. Ross Edwards at cover, 3 men on the onside. Good take by Marsh, a very good take. He took that almost in front of Dennis Lilly in the leg slip position. Up in the air, Walker after it, and it's just landed behind him, and Lloyd gets a single. Up-ish, but he found the gap between fourth slip and gully, between Redpath and Mallett, and that's 4 runs. Another up-ish shot, but that's 4 runs to Luckhurst. Between the third slip and the gully. More runs to Luckhurst. Being chased by Thompson. Could beat him to the fence. The run 2, and that's 4 to Luckhurst. He's now 16. Lloyd is 11, and England a no wicket for 27. Walker coming into Luckhurst. That's up-ish, but wide of the fieldsman, Redpath at gully, and that'll be 4. Pulling up a bit, Redpath gaining on it, but it'll beat him across the line. So Luckhurst scores his 5th boundary. Luckhurst hits it down backward of point. Ross Edwards after it, but this is another 4.
And caught, yes, he's been caught brilliantly by Mallett. Luckhurst caught Mallett. Bowled Walker for 27. Lloyd is not out 17. England 1 for 44. And Walker has 1 for 15. And the new man scheduled to come in is Colin Cowdrey. Cowdrey coming in at the age of 41, a recall to the Test arena after an absence of a number of years. Well, a couple of weeks ago he was at his home in England, sitting down with his feet up in his lounge room watching television and looking at Jeff Thompson bowling. And now here he is coming back to the Test scene in Australia and getting a wonderful ovation coming in as number 3 for England. Cowdrey here to face his first ball and the bowler Walker. Missed at that one. And Walker will continue bowling to Cowdrey. And runs, it could be 4, yes. Into the fence for 4. He didn't have to move. Down to the long boundary it goes. Lilly bowling to Lloyd. And runs here for sure. They'll probably get 2, perhaps 3 even. Well, long chase for Wally Edwards. We'll see what Lloyd does here, whether he wants this 3rd. They're going for it. Yes, they're going through for 3. He runs in now to bowl to Cowdrey. And I should think bat onto chest, but an indication of him right in the middle of the chest, and he was right behind the ball.
Up in the air, it's over the top of the gully fieldsman, and chased across by Redpath from 3rd slip. Cowdrey gets runs through point, a good shot. Walters is after it, will be touch and go. It might beat him across the line. And it has.
You see how Thompson performed this time. He didn't bowl so well when he came up to this end, bowling downwind. He bowled better into the wind, but now let's see how he goes downwind again after lunch.
Thompson moving into Lloyd. Over the top of Mallett at gully, and that's 4. A very effective shot by David Lloyd. Gives him yet another boundary. Thompson going into Cowdrey. Outside the leg stump. And a bit high. The ball passed over the top of the bails. Oh, wide of Walters, just wide of him. A lucky escape for Lloyd. Lloyd is 49 and Cowdrey 20. Marsh has dropped him.
And he's caught. Brilliant catch. Magnificent catch by Greg Chappell. Well, a magnificent effort, that one. And Greg Chappell has caught Lloyd off the bowling of Thompson for 49. Cowdrey is not out 20. There are 2 for 99. Greg is the new player coming in. Thompson to bowl to Greg. And runs straight away down to the fence. It goes for 4. He's hit that hard and high, and it's going to be 4, I'd say, over the head of Ross Edwards, and he didn't worry about where the field was. As long as you hit it hard and hit it high, it's quite safe. And Greg goes to 9 in characteristic style. Cowdrey 20, 4 for 100, or 2 rather, 2 for 109. And he's bowled him. Cowdrey bowled by Thompson for 22. Greg is not out 17. England 3 for 119. Fletcher facing up to Thompson. Well, hit that square and it's going out towards the boundary. It should be 4. So Fletcher, like Greg, starting off with a boundary shot. This is where he comes in. Leave now to Fletcher. And is he caught? Yes. Straight to the gully. Redpath has taken the catch, so Fletcher caught Redpath. Bowled Lilly for 4. Greg is not out 21. Lilly has 1 for 36. And there's Redpath in the gully position as Lilly moves him out of bowl to Durness. And runs here. It's pushed through mid-on. Not a bad shot from Durness, and they come back for the second. That's Wally Edwards doing the fielding, and they're thinking about 3. They're not going.
Edge, and he's caught. He's out. Caught at second slip. A jubilant Greg Chappell. There's he's caught. Caught by Mallett. Mallett in the gully. Greg is out. Greg caught Mallett off the bowling of Walker for 23, and England are 6 for 132. Chasing that one, it's over the top. Walker's down there at third man, at fine leg rather, but he can't cut it off. Ball going right back over the keeper's head and very high. Not 21, Titmus 3, the total 6 for 158. And this one's through point, being chased by Redpath. Batsman crossing for 2. Redpath fielding just inside, and Knopp will get 3 runs for the stroke. So he's taken 7 runs off 2 balls from Thompson. What a lovely throw by Redpath.
And caught. Yes, magnificent catch. Walters has done it again. Knott has been caught by Redpath. Bowled Walters for 51. Titmus is not out 8. There are 8 sundries, 7 for 194. And he's into that one, a magnificent shot. Well, no need to move then. He really hit that hard. Through extra cover, it might have been in the air, but no fieldsman had any hope at all. And that's the 200 up for England. 7 for 201. Old is 7, Titmus 8. And he's caught. Greg Chappell, magnificent catch. The ball was on the way to the boundary, and Greg Chappell has snapped it up one hand. Oh, caught Greg Chappell, bowled Ian Chappell for 7. Titmus, not out 8. 8 for 201. Clock moving slowly up towards the 10 to 6 mark, which is the important time for Australia. Still about 4 minutes to go. And caught, yes, he's out. Redpath again.
So another great catch ended England's innings at 208. And there was time only at the end of the day for the Australians to have one over, that bowled by Bob Willis at the Causeway end. And there is what could have changed the whole course of the day. Fletcher at first slip, putting down what was relatively a simple chance. The second day of the second Test match in Perth began with Australia 1 for no wicket, chasing England's first innings total of 208. We join play now in the second over of the day, with Bob Willis bowling from the Causeway end. Australia 3 for no wicket. The batsman at the far end is Wally Edwards, who had a great deal of trouble in the Brisbane Test with bumpers.
Up in the air, over the top of third slip and straight out of the fence for 4. And it's Greg moving into Redpath, who's on 24. And that's hit straight through to the boundary, past Titmus. A loose ball from Greg. Greg to Wally Edwards. Up in the air and he's out, caught by Lloyd at point.
He's hit that hard and high. It's going out towards the boundary, and it'll beat Arnold again, I think. Yes, into the fence for 4. And well hit by Chappell. That could be 4 again. Well, the crowd really enjoying this sort of play by the Australians, and Ian Chappell up to 15 now.
Australia 2 for 113 in reply to the England first innings of 208. Down the leg side, a dive by Knott, he's out. Ian Chappell is out, caught behind. Ian Chappell out for 25, caught Knott off the bowling of Arnold, and Australia are 3 for 113. Full flowing shot from Greg Chappell, straight through to the boundary for 4. Lloyd after it, but he won't catch that. A magnificent stroke off the front foot. Down to fine leg now. Arnold might not be able to cut this off. But run 1, going back on the second, and will it beat him? Yes, into the fence for 4.
So it's quite a defensive field with the addition of a deep third man, deep fine leg.
Willis to Greg Chappell. Down past the bowler. This could be his 50. He's coming down towards the fence. It's a long chase for Lloyd. He won't get to it. And that's the 50 to Greg Chappell. Greg Chappell 50. Ross Edwards 19. That cut there, that's one Edwards was looking for. He waited for that one. It's going out towards the boundary. He's just slowing down, but I think it'll beat the fieldsman. It does. 4 to Edwards. He is 24. Greg Chappell 51. Australia 3 for 180. Greg Chappell facing Willis. And he's caught, dropped, yes, caught. Caught by Greg finally, a remarkable catch. It was, first of all, to Cowdery, who got both hands to it. It bounced out of Cowdery's hands into Greg's hands, and after an attempt, a drop, and a catch, Greg Chappell is out for 62.
Through point, a beautiful shot. That's 4 runs. Yes, and Australia will pass England's score here. Walters will get at least 2 for this. Being chased by Arnold, and they'll get 3. And Australia take the lead on the first innings. Yes, through square leg, high in the air. It won't be 6. May not reach the boundary. The ball pulling up. Through mid-wicket, that's 4. Old starts his 11th over, running in and bowling to Walters. Through mid-wicket, beats the nest, pointless at mid-wicket, straight through for 4. Through mid-wicket, another 4 to Walters, going to the boundary like a rocket. Short ball from Titmus, hammered through square leg. Arnold is after it. It's going to be close whether he can stop it. He can't. It's another 4 to Walters. That's his 50. Walters has his 50.
Well, a very, very good innings. England just perhaps getting back into the game a little bit before Doug Walters came in, and now he's really taken this attack apart. Magnificent 50.
Walters 50, Ross Edwards 40, 9 sundries, and it's 4 for 257. They've lost the ball, I think. No, the crowd is being asked to retreat behind the roped-off section. And umpire Bayliss is trying to get them back behind the line there. Arnold's being placed deeper at backward square leg. It's gone right down onto the boundary now. And Walters plays a magnificent sweep down to fine leg for 4. Four for 272. Walters 65, facing Old. Through mid-wicket, wide of the nest, straight through to the boundary for 4. Walters 69, and the total 4 for 276. Edwards cuts wide of Willis. It may not reach the boundary. They've run 1, crossing for 2. Yes, it will. It'll beat Willis.
150 in about 2 hours, isn't it? They've scored. And Walters over the head of the keeper, down to the fence for 4, is it? 4 runs to Walters. He's 97. Well, 5 balls to go. Walters on 97. And that's what you call a grandstand finish. Well, quickly the details. Wally Edwards was out for 30, Redpath for 41, Ian Chappell for 25, Greg Chappell for 62. Arnold has 1 for 87, Old none for 45, Titmus 1 for 58, Greg 1 for 69, and Willis, who's bowling, 1 for 75. Those are the details, but the interest here, of course, Doug Walters, 97, 4 balls to go to end the day's play. And that is not it. No contact. He would have been out if he did. And they're the two principals in the drama. In the foreground, Willis. In the background, you see Walters. The third last ball. And no run. Lloyd fielding in the covers. Australia's lead 138 now. 6 wickets in hand. Here's the second last ball. And one ball to go to end the day, and no, they're not. They were thought of taking a single. Doug Walters, 97. Here's the last ball of the day's play. He hit it, could be four. Magnificent shot. It's out to the boundary. A 6, was it? A 6. A 6. Walters, 103. What a fantastic finish. One of the greatest finishes we've ever seen to a day's play in Australian Test cricket. Doug Walters, 100 in the session. He hit the last ball of the day's play for 6. And he's on to 103. Ross Edwards, 79. Australia, 4 for 352. And Walters, he scored exactly 100 runs in the session, and he scored his century in 124 minutes.
The third day of the second Test match in Perth began with England in desperate trouble. They had to take 6 Australian wickets, and they had a deficit of 144 runs, and they really had problems out there. Australia got on with it straight away. Ross Edwards taking 10 runs from 5 deliveries from Jeff Arnold. But the wicket England wanted most of all was that of Doug Walters, who had played such a devastating innings yesterday. It was a marvellous exhibition, and here now we see Willis bowling to him from the causeway end. Outside edge, a fine delivery. Keith Fletcher at first slip, taking the catch. Fletcher had missed one earlier in the innings, and a great relief for him and for Allen, not the wicket-keeper, that he snapped that one up. The second delivery from Willis in his first over of the day. So a fine performance from England to break through in that way, just what they needed. You can see here again a great delivery from Willis, slanting in at Walters, then cutting away, finding the outside edge, and Fletcher's hands cupping around it.
He's hit that one, it's going down, it could be caught. No, just wide. Old almost got to it, he's right underneath us here. And a dive by Old to his left-hand side. Well, he had a crack at that one, and it almost got it down onto his stumps. It was wide of the off stump, the ball pitched outside the off stump, going away. But we're waiting now as Old lines up and ready to go. He'll be bowling to Marsh. And Marsh onto that one properly, down to the long on to the boundary. That's 4 all the way. Well, that's the first authentic Rod Marsh stroke we've seen. He did play a hook shot earlier that was almost a chance, but he got onto that one properly. And pulled brilliantly by Marsh. Magnificent shot. Well, that was a great shot by Marsh. Along the ground all the way, and it's going right across that long fence. And Marsh has taken 2 fours in this over. He goes on to 20. Marsh 20, Ross Edwards 96, 5 for 390. 42 added this morning in about 52 minutes. And he'll get a run again. Edwards 99. He may go for the second. He's going. No. And, well, she didn't. Beautiful return from Titmus. Ross Edwards, 99. Now, the situation is ready here for cricket history in the making with Ross Edwards on 99. And no Western Australian has scored a Test century on this ground. And Chris Old is the bowler. And that is not it. They're going. Yes, it is. A shot that stumps at the far end. He's through. That's the 100.
Out to mid-wicket, beats Dines. Run 1. And we'll get 2. And here's another good throw by England from the outfield by Mike Dines. Nice shot, out through point, being chased by Lloyd, and Titmus is moving around the boundary. The batsman crossing for 2. It's going to be touch and go, and Titmus can't cut it off. It's 4 runs. Arnold bowling his 7th over of the day to Ross Edwards. Nearly played on, he's bowled. Yes, he's out. He played that on from outside the off stump. Ross Edwards out for 115, bowled by Arnold. And Australia, 6 wickets for 416.
Really great round of applause from this very big crowd. I'd say something in excess of 20,000 here already.
Arnold again to bowl his 25th over. Batsman is Marsh. Lofted this over the top of Greg at mid-on. That's going through to the boundary. 4 runs. There's a slip, a cover, extra cover, very deep mid-off, deep mid-on, mid-wicket, a fine leg, 2 men on the boundary on the onside. It's Marsh hammers this away, and he's caught. No, he's dropped. Dropped by Arnold, fielding a deep mid-on. An escape for Marsh.
And the first bowler we're going to see is Old from the southern end. The breeze now a southwester behind him. And that's he's dropped. He's got both hands to it, Fletcher. Going down to Underwood, it was must be considered a chance. And Fletcher now not having a particularly happy time for England in slip. He's dropped a couple. Now from the far end we're going to see the off-spinner Titmus. Of course their leg spinners to the left-handed Marsh, and he's bowling around the wicket. And in the air he could be caught, going down to mid-off, and he's out. Down there to Lloyd, a full toss. Marsh caught Lloyd, bowled Titmus for 41. Walker not out 10, 7 for 449. And a run there, it's wide of the mid on Arnold. Good shot from Lee, they've taken 1. There could be 3 here, they've taken 2, and they're coming back for 3. Old is bowling to Lilly. And he's bowled him. Lilly bowled by Old for 11. Walker not out 12. And is he out? Yes, he's caught behind. Mallet caught not, bowled Old, no score. That's the first outright failure for Australia. Walker is not out 12, 9 for 462. And a righty-looking shot. That could be 4 from Thompson. It's beaten Greg. He's chasing it. I don't think he'll make it. The ball's flying down there. Greg may just get to it. It's close. And Greg just got there. They've taken 3. Long boundary there, one of the longest on the ground, and Greg with those long strides of his just catching the ball. Old to Walker. Chance, and dropped again. One hand Fletcher, he got a hand to it, his right hand. They're coming back for a second. There's a chance for a run out this end. Thompson's slow, but he's right. Now that was a definite chance. A high one, Fletcher jumping high. And that's high over long on. It's almost a 6. It's going towards the fence. It lobbed about 10 metres inside the fence. Colourful scene. Packed ground. Beautiful weather. And a chance. Beautiful drop. No, dropped. Not had it. Almost had it long enough to count as a catch. And this time he's gone. Yes, it's all over. Walker caught not. bowled old for 19. Thompson not out 11. 23 sundries. Australia all out 481.
Not as many as Australia would have liked, perhaps, and had England held their chances, their deficit would have been far less. Well, with Luckhurst injured, the question now was who would open the innings. Denness, Fletcher, Allen Knott, perhaps. But astonishingly, it was Cowdrey, only in this country a week and out of Test cricket 3 years, who was thrown in against Thompson and Lilly. David Lloyd now faces the first ball of the second innings from Dennis Lilly.
And that was off the top of the bat or the hand, and it fell short of Thompson. That was a fending shot from Lloyd. And again a lifting ball from Lilly. That had plenty of life.
Thompson took 2 for 45 in the first innings, bowling to Cowdrey, no wicket for no run. Ian Chappell at first slip, Greg Chappell at second, Walters at third, 2 gully fieldsmen, Redpath and Mallet, Edwards out at cover. That's Ross Edwards, Wally Edwards at short square leg, 2 leg slips, Walker and Lilly. Yes, he's caught, dropped by Redpath, diving across in front of Walters. Redpath diving from the gully. And the first run's off the bat. In the England innings, the ball chased by Wally Edwards out to mid-wicket. Lilly bowling to Cowdrey. No wicket for 2. He's off the mark, out through point, being chased by Mallet, and Cowdrey will get only a single. As I said before, a crowd of about 25,000, Lilly to Lloyd. Lloyd playing at that ball, not getting a touch, through to Marsh. Up in the air, over the top of the slips, Ian Chappell racing back for it. It might beat him into the fence for 4. They've run 1, and Chappell fields, and Cowdrey will get 2. Walker comes in again. Good shot, out through, just backward of point, being chased by Ross Edwards. They run 1. Edwards will get to the ball. Cowdrey has a chance to take a 3rd run, and he does so. And a good return from Ross Edwards back into the ring. Lloyd pulling it through mid-wicket, a long run for Jenner, but that will beat him easily to the line for 4. Chasing that one, playing it wide of Redpath at short gully, and that's 4 to Cowdrey, his second boundary.
This is Jeff Thompson continuing, and he'll be bowling to Cowdrey. And Cowdrey's hit that on high on the body, I should think. It looks like he's hit on the chest or on about the collarbone. 1-4 has been hit since the resumption of play after tea. Thompson bowling to Cowdrey. And steered down, that could be the second 4, wide of the finer of the 2 gullies, Redpath. A good shot from Cowdrey. Now Thompson, with the wind blowing behind him, bowls to Cowdrey. And that time it's between keeper and first slip for 4. Well, that must always be regarded as a chance. To Walker. And the misfield there, they're going to take 1. Let's see if they attempt a second. Cowdrey has to come back. Yes, Cowdrey's going for it. And that's the 50 up for England. Lloyd 16, Cowdrey 33, 2 sundries, none for 51. That's England's first 50 partnership in this series. Thompson to Lloyd. And hit badly there that time. It was a nasty one.
Yes, indeed. Lloyd's in a fair amount of pain. Cowdrey signals for a glass of water. Here's the event again with Lloyd being hit there, right in the groin, as you can see, moving back into line with the ball and finding the ball move into him a little bit off the seam, and he crumples to the floor in obvious pain. And there he is now, just retiring into the dressing room as Mike Denness takes guard. Yes, we saw in the first innings that Denness had dropped down the order below Gregg, and now here he is, of course, made to do so by necessity, coming in at virtually number 3.
Denness is an experienced opening batsman, opened for many years for Kent with the Luckhurst, and he's facing Thompson. And run straight away. He might get 1 here at least. They're not thinking about 2, so Denness 1, Cowdrey 33. England at no wicket for 53. Lloyd retired her at 17. And he could be, now he was hit and Cowdrey has hurt too. And he's not well at all. Ball went up in the air, but it fell safe. And right behind the next ball. Well done, Cowdrey. Well played by Cowdrey. Good shot. We'll get at least 2 here. The ball's going out towards the boundary. Lilly's after it. Might be 4. It's very close, and it's 4. Cowdrey to 37. Denness 1. None for 57. And a appeal for caught behind. Not out. Cowdrey facing Thompson. And appeal again, and he's out this time. Cowdrey, leg before to Thompson for 41. Denness is not out 1. England 1 for 62.
Now the game continues with Thompson moving into the new batsman, Gregg. Full toss, played out just wide of Wally Edwards, out through square leg. They've run 1. Gregg is off the mark, and he gets 2 runs with his opening stroke. Through between 4th slip and gully for 4. Still Lilly bowling to Gregg. It's 1 for 78. Oh, he's lofted this over backward point and straight through to the boundary for another 4. Let's see what Gregg does this time, facing Lilly. Beaten by that ball just outside the edge of the bat. Lilly being urged on by the crowd, bowling to Gregg. Good shot, straight through mid-off, straight through for 4. Redpath is chasing from cover, but the ball beating him by some 25 metres. Short, edge, just wide of Mallet of Gully, and that's 4 runs. Gregg is 27, that's 100 on the board for England. They're 1 for 101.
The 4th day of the second Test match in Perth began with England 102 for 1 and needing every little bit of determination and courage they possessed to save this match. And, more important, to avoid humiliation. I suppose the thing they really needed was the ability to get behind the line of the ball, and that was something they hadn't done in the earlier games. We join play with the first ball of the day. It's Jeff Thompson bowling to Tony Gregg.
And Gregg off the mark. Edwards can't save it at point. Beautiful square cut by Gregg. Chasing it around the boundary is Redpath, but he couldn't save it, and it's across the line for 4 off the first ball of the day, which takes the score up to 1 for 106. That's Walker down at the fine leg as Thompson bowls to Gregg. Up, and he's caught by Greg Chappell at second slip. Gregg is out. England are 2 for 106. Gregg caught Greg Chappell off the bowling of Thompson for 32, and Thompson has 2 for 42. Lilly for the first time in the match from the grandstand end, moving into Dines on 13. Snick, but landing in front of third slip. Greg Chappell, the fieldsman. They've gone through for a single. That ball landed in front of Walters at third slip on the left-hand side. England are 2 for 109. Dines 14. Lloyd 18. Drive by Dines through extra cover. A chase for Ross Edwards. Dines will get at least 2 runs here. Looking for the third, and he'll beat Edwards' return. 3 runs to Dines, and a good throw by Ross Edwards, who was a star in the field in the first innings and again on the third day in the early part of the second innings of England. Nice drive, but it's gone up the top edge, over the top of the slips, and that's 4. Flew high over the top of Walker. Lloyd trying to drive that ball, I feel, out through cover. Gets a 4, takes him up to 25, and the total 2 for 122. Edge, and he's caught by Redpath at fourth slip. Dines is out. Dines caught Redpath off the bowling of Thompson for 20. England are 3 for 124, and Thompson, who's having a remarkable series, has taken 3 for 46. Well, Fletcher to face Thompson. Beats him, appeal for a catch. Is he out? Yes, he's out. And Thompson's on a hat-trick. Fletcher is out for duck. Caught Marsh off the bowling of Thompson. Thompson on a hat-trick, and England 4 for 124. Thompson on a hat-trick, bowling to Knott. Beats him, but that was inside the bat, between bat and pad. A good ball from Thompson. The question now is, Peter, whether Luckhurst will be required to bat if any further wickets fall.
Yes, well, of course, this is the last thing in the world that England wanted to happen, both in the point of view of losing wickets, but also getting Luckhurst into the firing line so early. But he will bat, but who knows when.
Nasty ball to Knott. That passed through shoulder high, very nearly struck Knott.
That was a nasty delivery.
4 for 128. Over the top of third slip, Walters diving up into the air, but no hope of reaching the ball. Into the fence for 4. Yeah, there's just wide of Redpath. That'll be another 4 to Knott. He's being chased by Walters from third slip, but he won't reach it. Over the top of Gully, slashing away. Mallet chasing, but it'll beat him across the line. That'll be 4 to Lloyd.
I think 3 or 4 overs a spell is quite enough in this heat. It's tremendously hot out there.
Very short, chased by Knott, glided over the top of the gully. Another 4 to Knott. He's hit 3 boundaries now down to that part of the field at the grandstand end. Redpath down at third man now. Trying to york him, driven out through extra cover. A good shot. Ross Edwards sprinting after it. The ball will pull up just inside the boundary. Knott has run 2, coming back for 3. And 3 for the shot. And for once, a little bit of a loose return from Ross Edwards, although he wasn't really trying to ping that one back to the keeper. He saw there was no chance of a 4th run. The 150 is on the board. England 4 for 152. They trail by 121. Lilly bowling to Knott. He's caught Greg Chappell at second slip. Not is out. The last ball of Lily's 5th over of the day. Not out for 18. Caught by Greg Chappell of Lily. It is 5 for 154. The not-out batsman is Lloyd on 35. The incoming batsman for England is, in fact, Luckhurst. Luckhurst coming out to the crease.
It could even be hotter now than the 35 it was a few minutes ago. And he's caught, is he? Yes, caught by Greg Chappell. Played it straight to him. Lloyd caught Greg Chappell, bowled Walker for 35. Luckhurst not out 2. England 6 for 156. And it hit right over the head of the mid-on, down to the boundary, and that's over the fence or hitting the fence on the first bounce. Well, a surprising shot by Titmus, but completely justified, I suppose. There was no one out there. And Titmus played it well, coming down towards the boundary. A long chase for Walters. I think the ball's going to reach the fence easily. Yes, that was very well timed by Titmus. That was a deliberate shot, and he just steered it wide of the slip fieldsman down to the fence for 4, and Titmus has hit 2 fours in this over. He goes on to 12. Luckhurst is 10, 6 for 179. A hit there over the head of Greg Chappell. That's a good shot from Titmus. That's over the line down there on the first bounce, straight over the top of extra cover. And Titmus getting some applause for some bold batting. He's on to 16.
Cut, wider 4th slip, Redpath, down to the fence for 4. Four more runs to Titmus at 6 for 210. Cut by Luckhurst, and a chance to Mallet in the gully. It's come down to 3rd man now. Run 1, coming back for the 2nd. The ball being retrieved by Redpath. Chance to Mallet at gully. Luckhurst moving up to 20.
A nice looking drive from Luckhurst. That's one of the few he's played today. They've taken 2. Redpath fielding just inside the boundary line. They're thinking about 3. They're not going. A bit of indecision there between the 2. Possibly a 3rd run there, but they're not taking it. Luckhurst 23, Titmus 34, 6 for 216. And a good shot from Titmus. He'll get a couple here. They've got 1 coming back for 2. Wally Edwards is after it. He'll get it just inside the line, and they're going back for an easy 3. Now, it appears that Lily is going to go over the wicket this time to Luckhurst. And a catch, and he's caught, yes. Mallet's taken the catch at gully, so Luckhurst caught Mallet, bowled Lily for 23. Titmus is not out, 37. England 7 for 219. Old is the new batsman. Walker to Old. And well played, back past the bowler. Beautifully timed up. That's going to be 4. With hardly any backlift at all, he slammed that back past the bowler. And the total, 232. 7 for 232. 41 the difference. He's hit that hard and high way over the top of the cover point. It's going out towards the boundary, and they'll take 2. The ball, of course, was a high hit. And that's a good shot from Old. That's going out towards the square boundary. Mallet will not get to it, and over the line it goes now for 4. Yeah, Titmus ready for Walker as he moves in. It's a full toss, but they'll get a single only. Perhaps now it's better time than that. It's going down towards the boundary, and they've taken 2. And they're coming back for a third. It's not going to be 4. And that's the 50 for Titmus. Titmus is 51. Well played, Freddie Titmus, who's 51 to equal the best score by any English player in this game. Not got 51 in the first innings. Old is 13, 7 for 246. And this time it's back over the bowler's head, no doubt about that. That's 4 all the way. Again over the head of the player, down to the boundary, and well hit by Old. Old to 23. Titmus 51, 7 for 256. And again, it's in the air, and it could be 6. Tremendous hit, it's right over the top. Mighty shot. No doubt in my mind, the umpire hasn't looked. Yes, it's 6.
Old playing it between third slip and gully, right down to the boundary. There's a fieldsman chasing it from point, and he won't reach it. That's 4 runs. Old lofts this out on the onside. Greg Chappell trying to reach it. It could be over the line for 6. It is. 6 to Old.
And how easily he hits the ball. There's no great power or swing in there. Beautiful timing.
Another one high in the air. Wally Edwards trying to make ground. And also from mid-wicket, Thompson, and Thompson takes the catch. Wally Edwards was moving in from deep square leg, but Thompson beat into the ball easily, and Wally Edwards pulled out when he saw Thompson making ground, and Old is out for 43. Caught Thompson off the bowling of Mallett, and 8 wickets are down for 285. Mallett has taken his first wicket. Mallett 1 for 28. Redpath is moving in closer from long on to deep mid on. Another quicker ball through point, and that could be the highest score ever by Titmus against Australia. That's 4. He is 61. His previous highest score against Australia was 60. So this has been a wonderful performance by Freddie Titmus. 8 for 293. Arnold on 4, facing Thompson. Yes, he's caught by Gully. Mallett, a brilliant catch. Left-handed, a great catch by Mallett. Arnold out for 4. Caught Mallett off the bowling of Thompson, and 9 wickets are down for 293. And Thompson has taken his 5th wicket, 5 for 93. Titmus goes for lofts one. Greg Chappell getting under it. He takes the catch, and Greg Chappell breaks the test record. He's taken his 7th catch in this test, and that is an all-time record. And England all out for 293, 20 runs in front of Australia. And this should now be, and will be, a formality for Australia to win the second test and go 2 up in the series.
Greg Chappell, one of the great fieldsmen the cricket world has seen. The 20 runs were just a formality, but England had 1 plus mark in the final moments. Jeff Arnold getting Wally Edwards LBW for 0. A very good delivery, that, and some consolation for Arnold, who has bowled quite well on this tour. Ian Redpath concluded proceedings for Australia by hooking Arnold to the square leg boundary. A fine stroke, and the crowd rushed on at the conclusion of the game. A great performance for Australia, and I'm afraid a great disaster for England. I haven't seen a more pathetic batting display from an England side for many years, and some of those batsmen won't sleep too well tonight.